Dean Rojas, yeah, the Dean Rojas in my boat. And it's an honor. And Dean has been opening up the lodge for 2014-2015 season. He's the first client on the lake, which is Lake El Salto. And then we're going to go from here, we're going to Lake Picachos. But Dean's going to give us what he's catching his fish on, technique, color, and the scoop. Dean, what are we catching our fish on here, the opening of Lake El Salto season here?
Well, it's been an awesome opening, Billy. I'm just so impressed with Lake El Salto. It still keeps kicking out the big ones. I've had a 10, 2 9s, 2 8s, and 4 7s. A lot of big fish, a lot of 5 and 6 pound fish. Not a lot of numbers. Of course, you know, we're the first group here, and it took me a day and a half to figure out where I needed to be at. We had a great guide. And Martin, he really worked with us on trying to figure out where the big ones were at and keying on that. So the baits that we were using, I caught the 10 on my fighting frog. It's a big bite bait. It's about 4.5 inches in length. Martin said you have to dye the tail chartreuse, which was a key for all of our fish this week. And I caught it on a small little Carolina rig, just a nice. But there's so much brush in the water. You don't want to use something with a big leader because it's going to get the weight's going to go dislodged, and the bait will be hung up in the bushes. So you want something that has a leader of about 15 inches or so. Texas rig was also very good for us, in and around the brush and so forth. But today the heavy hitter has been cranking. And if we finally figured out where the fish are positioned and what they're keying in on. All the tackle that we're using is all 22-pound sunline, medium heavy to heavy rods, and stuff that you got to get them out of the cover. There's so much stuff in the water. I mean, there's mesquite, the thorn bushes. I mean, then you have the hyacinth, and you have everything that it's a jungle. I mean, you're fishing in a jungle.
It's basically it's breached the bank. We're at 103% right now, Dean.
You could hear the water roaring over the spillway right now. It is as full as I've ever seen it, which makes it a bigger lake. It makes it more challenging because it spreads the fish out. But it took us a little bit to get it figured out. But when we did, this afternoon we've had the best one. I had a 9, an 8, a 7. My son Austin, he's had 2 7-pounders today and a couple 6s. A lot of big fish. Not a lot of 2 and 3 pounders, but big ones. And you gotta keep bouncing around on the points. But when you do, you find them. And I caught the 9, and I caught another 8 there, and then my son hooked the 6.5 and caught that one there. So when you find them, they're grouped up in some areas. So you just got to keep bouncing around. But it's such a beautiful lake. And
your best baits on. You've only been fishing what, 2.5 days, and you got all those big fish racked up already.
Yes,
huh?
Yes. I have I have 10 to 2 9s. I think I have 2 8s, 3 7s, and a bunch of 6s. And
what other baits? What were your most productive baits?
Well, we caught a bunch on a chatterbait. My son Austin caught a lot on a chatterbait. He loves throwing that thing. I like the crankbait. Just you can see all the teeth marks on it. It's just been it's a great tilapia color down here fishing in and around the brush. And I even, with all the hyacinth, all you guys who like to punch and flip down in Florida, I caught a 9 yesterday punching the hyacinth with a fighting frog. And so 1 ounce with 80-pound braid, big 4-aught Gamakatsu super lineup. Anything that has chartreuse in it, it doesn't matter.
And your chatterbait, what color chatterbait were you fishing?
Chartreuse. Chartreuse and white was key for us. The water's still a little stained, it's a little tannicky, but that chartreuse is key.
There's your technique from Dean Rojas from the shores of Lake El Salto, the first guy on the lake this season with your family as well. Huh? You brought your whole family down.
My wife down and brought my 2 boys down. My wife has had the time of her life. She's gotten a massage, a manicure, a pedicure, and just the meals. And Billy Chapman does such a fantastic job at Anglers Inn. The hospitality is #1. So get down here to Anglers Inn. I can't wait to come back, and you need to be down here catching big fish like me.
Hey, and be sure to go to Bassmaster.com because Dean's fishing with the sweepstake winner here. The sweepstake, go to Bassmaster.com and sign up.